Rob Liefeld, one of the founders of Image Comics, one of the creators of Deadpool and Cable and X-Force, Rob Liefeld, who has inspired and motivated so many creators to go their own way and to draw and create and be passionate about the things that they love. Which I had the pleasure of meeting Rob over at WonderCon in Anaheim, California, this year, actually, which was so badass. And I had the pleasure of asking him, what was it that got you drawing these like such like iconic characters, right? And he had a great answer, and we talked for maybe a good like 10-15 minutes or whatever. But based, this is a based point of view, and this is what he says himself. And it's not like he's trying to choose sides and say conservative or liberal. He's just saying this generation, and he's just saying this is the type of work ethic that I see. So let's go ahead and read this real quick. The next gen, gotta be honest, had to cut ties with a number of the new talent this past spring and summer. Several of these, the work will never see the light of day. I'm having it redone. The connective tissue is the age. These are individuals who are of an age between millennials and Gen Z. The talents I let go are terrible with directions. They love to argue and have zero accountability. No matter how polite I share, and I write every exchange as if it would be shared in public, the reactions are a style and manner that I haven't encountered before. I go out of my way to give the benefit of the doubt, spoon feed the info and directions. But the snap and deflection is unlike anything I've encountered in 36 years. Let's see. I've had a great track record breaking all manner of talents over 3 decades, but man, this is a whole new era, and I'm learning that I don't have the patience for the petulant behavior. And to the fact that I pay top rates, add to the fact that I pay top rates, I'm not looking for bargains. Makes me wonder what will become of the industry over the next decade. I've been really fortunate to work with so many great talents over the course of my career, but this is a whole new era that has a different standard of the dread entitlement. Damn. Rob Liefeld calling it out as it is. Now, a lot of people would go, oh, well, Rob Liefeld hasn't really like done anything, or he hasn't like worked with that many people. But then he comes back with all the different people that he is motivated, inspired, that he's worked with, and that he's given chances to. Rob is saying what a lot of people are thinking. So with that being said, think of that statement that he just wrote. Then he came back with this. He says, since my posts are being shared, I'll share my follow-up myself. Here's the next post I made. Opportunities, mentorship. These are the people who he has gotten into the industry because of his talent. And he could have hoarded that popularity and that talent and that creativity, and he could have just said, well, I got my money. I got what I came for. But he went out there and he mentored all of these artists and creators, and that's why this dude is a GOAT. And people go, oh, he draws feet weird. Oh, he draws Captain America's chest weird. But it's his actions that speak louder than any of his drawings. That quote, though, is legitimately great. A lot of people in my generation just act like everything is owed to them. Not all, but too many of them fit into that category. It's true for nerds. Unfortunately, that is kind of how people view themselves. I think it is part of a generational thing. And like I said, it's on both sides. I'm not saying that it's conservative or liberal or Christian or atheist. I'm just saying of this era, of this modernity, of this modern age, I think that's kind of what we're seeing. So let me get to this next post that he says, here's the post that I made as a follow-up. Opportunities mentorship. I've had a great pleasure to either mentor or provide mentorship to generations of talent. I've provided dozens of talents their first break in this amazing comics business. There it is. That's what's so important. A DC editor I don't even like pulled me aside at San Diego Comic-Con in the early 2000s and said, You produce not only great talent at Extreme Studios, but damn if you didn't instill in them responsibility and the importance of deadlines. How many times do we hear in modern comics right now that artists can't make their deadlines? All your alumni hit their marks. It remains the compliment I value highest among the rest. I was 24 years old. It's like Jedi. It's like if Qui-Gon Jinn had Obi-Wan Kenobi and like all these different Jedi, and someone came up to Qui-Gon and was like, "Your Jedi are some of the best, most respectful, responsible. They always meet their deadlines." I don't know, but like that's the type of compliment that would be. That's badass. I was 24 years old when I opened Extreme, a kid leading kids. I had plenty of flaws, but the results with these amazing talents speak for themselves. When I talk of talent and launching talent, I know what I'm talking about. And he does. He absolutely does. And he can be as cocky or confident or conceited as he wants, because he then proves it and backs it up with a list of people. Andy Mark, Marat Michaels, Dan Fraga Boom, Norm Rapmund, Jeff Matsuda, Danny Miki, like all these different names. He goes on and on and on and on. I brought in veterans like Art Thibert and Dan Panosian to give further guidance and mentorship, just as I had received from Jim Valentino. Mentorship cannot be understated, which I agree with. My mentor in college and my mentor in the Marine Corps were, life-changing. Without those guys, without mentors, you are, and even in college, or I already said college, you're unable to discern your path in life. You have to kind of have someone who's done life already in that, in that area. You have to have someone who is willing to mentor you through that path. Because if you do it by yourself, all the failings that your mentor might have gone through, he or she may be able to help you through your failings, and which will make you even better. So mentorship is extremely important, especially for men, especially for masculinity and for men in this era. Mentorship is huge because a lot of men grow up without dads, or they grow up without mentors, and they become angry, spiteful, hate-filled, because they don't have a mentor. They don't have someone to guide them, to lead them, to help them through. In the 2000s, I continued to break new names, giving these talents their highest profile work and recognition right at the outset. It's because no one holds them accountable, and it is so hard to fire them without some kind of lawsuit or investigation. God help you if they are people of color or gay or something. Shieldwall, yeah, the thing with that too is that it's difficult because they've set this standard now that even if you give constructive criticism, it's seen as a point of like racism. So you can't even criticize something, which is healthy, by the way. Criticism is healthy in relationships, in business, wherever you go. You have to have criticism. It's how you grow. But a lot of that has been seen as like hateful or offensive or bigoted. So yeah, I can see how that's extremely dangerous, quote unquote, in the comic book world. As a young second class, a senior chief took me under his wing, changed the course of my Navy career. Exactly, Roman. Exactly. So he goes through these list of names, and he goes, still smooth sailing. Up until the last couple of years. And as I stated previously, now it's a whole new ball game. A couple real good eggs I just helped cook up to their first mainstream breaks on Prophet Remastered #1, which I read this week. Fucking badass. It was so much fun. Prophet is rad. And he says, guys with hustle and no entitlement. Hoping for more great talent along the way, but no time for drama. The ones that came before have crucial experience to share. Dude, bravo to based Rob Liefeld. Absolutely fantastic take. Fantastic take. from our man Rob Liefeld. He has been in this industry for so long that he is just paving the way for new creators and new artists, new writers, new people who are just passionate. He's the guy who's doing that. His actions are speaking louder than his words, and it shows. Oh man. Well, guys, that's the drama. I mean, Rob Liefeld, what he's saying isn't drama. It shouldn't be drama. It should be fact. It should be held as something that is words of wisdom, right? It should be held to a high regard for people to go, wow, I can get into the comic book industry if I work my ass off. If I'm good at what I do, if I'm talented, if I'm charismatic, if I meet my deadlines, if I'm responsible for my own actions, all this stuff, if I'm respectful, if I can take criticism, all that stuff. And no one wants any of that, because they just want the pat on the back. They want to get told how great they are, and they want to get the job and the money without ever having to work for it. And like I said earlier, it's not a left or right, conservative or liberal, Christian or atheist. It's just a straight, modern age thing that's just been happening as of late. And I think Rob speaks a lot of truth. And he rightfully should. He's been in the industry way longer than anyone has. He started his own industry over at Image Comics. But like I said, Mark Brooks is still a coward. Rob Liefeld is based and has great takes and is a legend. And comic books are and should be a positive, fun industry.